Hello, good evening to all of you from wherever you're joining me. We are live in several different areas. I wanted to make sure that we were able to reach everyone, both the coffee chat listeners and the people who just finished up the hair color formulation simplified workshop. I am hoping that, like any good concert that you've attended, that when the band goes off, you're feeling a void of, oh my gosh, I want one more song. I want one more encore. I want one more thing. So you have reached out and asked for more Q&A, and we have listened. So we put this encore presentation together for answering any questions that are lingering for you about the actual formulation, as well as what it's like to be a Hair Color Secrets insider. And if you're sitting on the fence and you're not really sure what it is, whether it's really going to make a difference in your life, I've asked some of our existing members to be here tonight and do sort of a fun Q&A session, like a panel where you can ask them. Because like I said in the workshop and in the coffee chat, I can tell you that it's wonderful and fabulous. And you'll think that I'm just saying that because it's mine. But the feedback that I've gotten from not just the people that are here this evening, but from all of the members, both current and alumni, that it really made a difference in their career. And I'm excited to have them here to answer your individual questions. So, Felix, my friend, you're supposed to be in the green room, not watching on YouTube. So I have to see if Bryn can send you, probably not, the StreamYard. So you can type in your comments if you'd like. So it looks like we have 15 on live, now 16. So if there's anyone on here now that has a particular question about the workshop, if you'd like to ask that question before we pull the panel up, now is a good time to do that. Since there's not a lot of people on here, we'll give other people time to log on. It's only 5:07. And there's probably people that aren't commenting that are on here on the other areas. Hi, Tola. Welcome. Tola just became a Hair Color Secrets insider. She was in the 3-day workshop. Donna is an existing member. Stacy is an existing member. Pam, hello, old member here. Loved all my time with your education. Thank you, Pam. Felix is a current member. We actually talked about Felix in the workshop because we have a brand new member. His name is Louis. And he, exactly like Felix, became a hairstylist later in life. He's very new to the industry. He has lots of questions. He's very, excited, but nervous at the same time. And I said, you are going to love Felix because he is like a star student and he's in the same boat. So I want you to meet. Kathy said, this course is the best course I've ever purchased. I've been doing hair for 41 years and I've learned so much, well worth the investment. Thank you, Kathy, for that. Those kind words. I appreciate that because we all know that we've bought something, myself included. Oh, I was so disappointed. This one hairstylist who is kind of Insta famous, kind of, I don't even know what you would say her situation is, but she has her own extension brand and she's a bodybuilder and she has this fabulous husband that's in the internet space. And she put on this event and I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. Hollywood hairdressers, going to be great tips. And it was so, so, so disappointing. So I know what it feels like to buy something and have high hopes and then be disappointed. I do not think that you're going to feel that way about this. And you can ask, our panel tonight if you have any specific questions about that. Did I not send Jack? Jack, you should have the link. Hang on, let me see. Give me 1 second. Well, in the meantime, hold on. While I'm doing that, I'm going to bring up Stacy to the stage. And Stacy's going to tell you a little bit about her experience as an insider while I try to send the link to Jack.
Hi, everyone. My name is Stacy, and I joined, I think I'm going on my 4th year, but I want to speak to those that are kind of nervous about the money that you're going to spend, whether it's worth it or not. And I will say I was one of those nervous ones thinking, I'm going to sign up for this, and is it going to be what I'm hoping it is? And I will say 1,000 times over, I have learned so much through being in the membership, so much so that actually my customers have noticed a change in the way I formulate, just noticing confidence. And it just, I am in a solo suite, and I feel like I don't need like my coworker to say, "Hey, can you swing on by and give me some advice?" I have just learned so much through being in this membership. So I'm very pleased, and like I said, I'm going on my 4th year. So I definitely feel that this is worth every dime that I've spent.
Thank you, Stacy. And Stacy, not only has she done my program, but she connected with other teachers and mentors through the program that she's done their programs. So it's a connection to, other educators in the industry, other products. Anytime we play with something, like Johnny is going to be coming up here in a minute, he and I are gadget people. So anytime we buy a new toy, we play with it first, we work out all the kinks, and then we share it with the group. Stacy will tell you, as well as Angie and Johnny that are here, that my love language is gift giving. So I surprise you every once in a while with a random gift in the mail, which is fun because us adults don't get Christmas presents anymore. Not anything great anyway. And it's fun to get a surprise gift. Somebody's having problems with volume. That may be your device, hopefully. Everybody else seems to be able to hear. Does anyone have a question for Stacy before I let her go from the panel? She is are you Seattle or Oregon?
Oregon.
Oregon. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Brent said the volume's okay. And you used to do more nails, right? In the beginning, were you more into nails? And
I was a massage therapist.
okay,
and
massage
and
therapist.
yeah, and doing nails, and I kind of shied away from doing any hair. I preferred nails, but after getting into your program, it's kind of flipped the opposite. I'm doing more hair, and actually I'm bringing in more revenue because of my confidence. I'm not afraid of the prices that I'm charging.
That's awesome. I love that. Love it. Love it. So let me just peek and see if we have any questions for you. Donna said she keeps it. Now, Donna is a teacher at a beauty school. She says she keeps signing up because she gets so much from, even besides color, from Elaine and other group members. And we get as much from Donna as well. Donna is really, really good at the pH of the hair, condition of the hair, learn all the things, like the difference between moisture and protein that we all get stumped with. So I defer to her a lot. As an educator, I will never pretend to know something I don't know. If someone asks me a question and I don't know it, I say, I don't know, but I will circle back and have an answer for you. So I do reach out to people like Donna and Joe Santee and Mags Kavanaugh and I'm going blank for his name, Captain Color, Dennis Gebhardt. If someone asks me a very chemistry laden question, I don't want to give misinformation. I want to make sure that I'm telling the right truth so that I don't confuse anyone. And I appreciate the support of other people in the industry. I've had strong mentors, and I know what that has done for my career. So it was important to me to make sure that you have everything that you need within this library and within this community. And I think the proudest moment for me, Stacy, is when someone asks a question and I'm, say, on an airplane, I'm in the air, I don't have internet, and someone's panicking. They have a question in the group, they have a client in their chair, and you will jump in and answer, and it will be the answer exactly that you know that I would give. So to me, that is like the ultimate compliment, that you feel not only that you understand and you know it for yourself, but you're now feeling as confident as going in to say, hey, I know the answer. I'm here to help you. And that is just something, when I started this whole group and this whole journey, I could never have imagined the strength of this community. And I'm super proud of, I didn't warn you guys ahead of time that we were welcoming new members in. You guys are just like, oh, hey, there's new faces in the group. So I don't say, hey, you better make sure you welcome them. And here's a template to make sure you post this and make them. No. As soon as a person asked to be entered into the group and joined, all of you put the coolest little memes with your little profile, like fun meme pictures saying, welcome, welcome. This is such a great group. You're going to love it. And that just is amazing to me. I couldn't ask for a better group of people. And I think when people hear Facebook group and when they hear course, I think they're a little gun shy where they're like, I'm going to be judged. And I can't tell you how much I get sad when I see someone preface a question with, I'm a baby stylist, and please don't, be mean to me when I ask you this question, because they're anticipating people coming at them, myself included. When I answer people's questions in an open forum, I get attacked a lot, and it makes me go away and say, I'm not helping anybody anymore because they're mean and they don't understand. But we've never had that, and nor will we ever, because I won't allow it. The minute somebody thinks that, they are going to talk down to someone else and it's okay, they'll get one warning. You notice I didn't say three. One warning, like, we don't do this here. We're all here to help each other. And because of that, because Bryn and I protect this community like family, and we don't let that happen, that is why it's such a safe space to go for any question that comes up. And God, I wish that it was there when I was starting out and making lots of mistakes. So thank you, Stacy, and thank you for continuing to be in the group. It's such a pleasure having you, and I appreciate you taking the time tonight. It's probably, you're getting ready for dinner time, right? It's a little earlier where you are. So
Actually,
thank you for sharing
I'm in Vegas.
Oh, you're on vacation. Even worse, you're taking time out of your vacation, but thank you. I hope you win a lot of money for doing a good deed.
I know, but I do want to say that in the group, when you're talking about like the communication, that I've never seen anybody be mean. We're all everybody's cheerleaders, and we want to see everybody succeed and win. And then us asking, what did you do? Tell us your steps that you did, and everybody's willing to share, not knowing that they're not going to be judged. It's just, we all learn differently, and I just think it's a great program. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, now we have, I see you, Felix. I didn't forget about you. Felix has joined us. Johnny gets tortured monthly doing my color. We met when he became an insider, and he was so kind to invite me to, hang on, I have to mute Stacy. There we go. Okay. He invited me to a friend's house where Gary from Kin was coming, and we got together there, and I got to meet him in person. And he was kind enough to say, hey, if you're ever doing models and you need a salon to do your hair, come use my salon. And I was like, oh my gosh. And now he's absolutely one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. So thank you for being you, Johnny. I love you, and you're awesome. So if you could say something about, other than me torturing you and you doing my hair, how you feel about your journey as an insider.
It's been a good journey. It was nervous in the beginning because of the money. I've been a member since November of 19. My biggest takeaway is having access to the library whenever you need it. The other day, I was in a situation and I'm like, I remember there was something, it was easy for me to jump back, figure it out, go in, and I had it, no problem. So I think the access to the library anytime you want it for life is the best takeaway for me.
Now, do you use the app for the library? Do you use the app on your phone?
I do every now and then, but I'm more in, because my color room is separate, so I just have my computer and I can pull it out, look it up real quick while I'm in the color room, and then go right back out and do what I need to do, or as I'm formulating, I can watch the video, the technique, whatever I need to watch. and then go out and do.
Awesome.
So
And I love
that's
when
my
people
biggest thing
turn it
is just
into
having.
a hands-on class. Like you can set up your monitor on your computer, whatever you're doing, have a doll head or have a client and make it your own hands-on class. Like you don't have to be somewhere on a certain date at a certain time, get on an airplane, travel to do it.
Like I
That
said,
to
yes, I
me
was in the
has been the
middle.
beauty of, yeah.
I was able to throw her retouch on, and I was like, I needed to do something else. I knew what I needed to do. I couldn't remember, so I was able. By she's processing, I watched the video and I go back and I did what I needed to do. And the variety that you'll find in this library is amazing. Um, Not just the color techniques, not just the basic formulation. I wanted to get more into the advertising. I got on there, and there's something on Canva on how to the basics use of Canva. So that
Oh
helps her.
God, I still need that. Bryn yells at me all the time. I'm trying to
I
master
know
Canva.
she's
Like,
amazing when she's teaching it, and it's real simple.
yeah.
So
I love that. And I love
yeah,
that you are a someone who actually takes the time to swatch because we've done it together.
yes,
We'll have a client out in the salon and we'll be in the back with swatches with brand new color saying, "Oh, let's do this real quick before we put it on her hair." And we both kind of look at each other like, "Oh, okay, glad we did that," because a lot
yeah.
of
Nope, that
times
one's too
it doesn't
gray, or
look,
that one's too.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no,
crazy.
and it's
So it's
yeah,
nice to have those tools.
yeah, and then just learning to have the confidence of knowing what is in your color, what's on the head, what you're gonna get, of knowing it's predictable. If I put this on this, I'm gonna get this. Instead of the praying to the color gods of, ooh, what am I gonna get?
And Johnny
So
is much braver than me with his colors. He does a lot of fun colors. You have to check out. What's your TikTok? Share your TikTok with them.
I'm not
You
sure.
don't even know, do you? He
No,
doesn't
because I
promote
just
it.
do it.
But when he does a fun, complete
Well, and let
transformations
me tell
vivids,
you,
which I never do.
your color did help the other day because I was doing a transformation from half of it was purple, half of it was green. I was turning her fire engine red. So
Oh my
knowing,
gosh.
going back and looking at some of the videos of, okay, knowing I have this on the head and this on the head, this is what I'm going to need to use to neutralize that to be able to put the red on there, or the purple. Purple has red in it, so I know that's going to help the red stick. It's those little things that you learn from this library that just take you to that next level.
And the things that we really have learned, but it's gone straight out the back of our head
That we've
since we learned it
forgotten.
in school. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's a lot of people think it's either going to be too basic or too advanced, and they don't realize that it's a step-by-step structured program to take you through wherever you like. I always recommend they start in the beginning because even if you've been formulating for 30 years, I promise you, you're not formulating the way that I'm going to teach you. And I'm not telling you to change what you're doing if it's working. I only ask that you change if it's not working. We had a student in the workshop that was blown away by the whole, no such thing as a cool level 7. And he has already joined the insiders. He's already written to me saying, "Oh my gosh, my mind's blown. This is amazing." I actually did a swatch today just to give an example for the people who were doing the workshop that were saying, "But why can't I just turn a level 4 into a level 8? Like, why? Why can't I?" So this is a level 4. This is the before, and this is human hair. And then this was a level 12 color used on the level 4 for the full processing time. And this is as light as it got. So this is the highest level of color you can use, a 12, used on a 4. And this is why I say it's simply not possible to get a cool level 7 from a level 4 color, a level 5 color. It's just not humanly possible. If I take this same strand and use bleach, I'm going to get exactly where I want to go. But most clients don't want to sit and have their hair completely bleached out and then toned back down. So in this library, there's several techniques that we can get the look of something that's been globally lightened and is balanced and cool without doing every single hair on the head I try to come up with strategies that are low maintenance for us as the technician and lower maintenance for the client, because there's nothing worse than them committing to, say, a double process blonde, and then they go way too long between visits, making us and them look really bad in between visits. So we get into formulation, application, branding, marketing, lifestyle, balance, pricing, how to plan for a six-figure income. It's so much more than just hair color, and it's constantly evolving. We just had Michael Cole as a guest this past week. So he was talking about technology and looking around the corner and seeing what's next. So my relationships with others in the industry, I'm constantly trying to bring them into our community and into our world and contributing as well. And one of the bonuses of joining right now in Hair Color Secrets Insiders is also the Ultimate Hairstylist Mentorship. And that has, oh my gosh, I don't even know how many videos. It's got Jesse, Gary, Vivian McKinder, the Wilsons. It's a very intense library and everything you could possibly want in a mentorship. And that's a bonus. In addition to everything else. So does anyone have any questions for Johnny? Because he likes to collect a lot of kids. He has a house full of kids, so I don't want to keep him here longer than he has to be here on this Sunday evening. Let me check the comments. Bryn, any questions in here that Johnny can answer? Or people just listening? Lisa said, great surprise to see you. I know we have a little bit of a delay. What is your biggest takeaway from the membership?
Stop faking it till you make it, because you're never going to make it.
I love that.
That's
one of
my biggest, because
phrases.
I learned a long time ago, they say fake it till you make it. Well, how long do you fake it till you make it? 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? It's, we as hairstylists, as professionals, we have to take control. Doctors don't fake it. I wouldn't go to a doctor that fakes it till he makes it.
Let's hope not. Yeah.
So I think that's my biggest takeaway, is the knowledge that it gave me to stop faking it till I made it.
Absolutely. Because think about the time that we spend pretending to know and dodging situations. It's both nerve-wracking and you're not getting good results. And all of that time spent avoiding really understanding can be all the more time that you're having success and
That, or
having happy
trying to
clients.
convince
So,
your client, maybe it's the meds you were on. That's why the color turned that way. Or
we talked about that in the workshop.
What
I was
did you
like,
do
yeah,
different?
no, I don't believe that.
That's what we've learned to do, and we have to stop doing that and take control and learn.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, my friend. I will be seeing you soon. They've been looking at my roots for 3 days, so I'll be in touch.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
For being here. You too.
Thank you.
So I'm going to bring up Angie, and I'm going to ask Angie, what is the one lesson that made the biggest impact on how you color hair? Oh, unmute yourself.
Oh,
there you go. I gotcha.
You're good? Okay. I would say probably the lessons on formulating. I would say before your course, I've been in the business for 30 years and was never taught the way that you taught. Probably old school. I was using a lot of permanent color when I shouldn't have been using permanent color. And I just have a lot more confidence, especially in knowing when you can use color, when you need to use bleach. Bleach is the bomb, that breaks through everything. I just have a lot more confidence. I'm ending up with a lot less brassy, lifted gray coverage. I just recently did a color where it was a kind of a corrective color. She had been like a strawberry blonde and had went like highlights through it. But before I didn't have the confidence in highlighting through that red with different levels of developer and using different things in different areas and different formulas through the head. Uh, and just understanding the whys has probably been my biggest enlightenment.
That's awesome. Now, Angie got to see us in person here in Florida at the last member retreat. And she also won an opportunity to shadow at my salon in Pennsylvania for the day. And what I have to say about the experience is it would be easy for Angie to say, I can't go to Florida. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I can't get on a plane by myself and go to this thing. I can't afford to go. I can't take the time off from work. I can't leave my family. We all have, tons of excuses that we can make to not do something. She did it. She came. She loved it. She won the opportunity. I think did you drive to do the shadow day?
No, I flew. I did fly. Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say that's no joke. That's like a haul. I've been to Pittsburgh, but she took the time out to go and spend that day and had an amazing experience because how awesome is it to watch someone teach you at an event on stage and then go and stand next to them while they're working on actual clients? A lot of times when we go to a hair show, 50% of what goes on in that color service happened behind the curtain before they even bring the model out on the stage. And 80% of the time, they don't even verbalize and share what was done to prep it. They just do it and don't share it. And then we have this recipe that they share with us that they put on in front of us. And then we go home and do that thinking that's the only step. And then we wonder why it doesn't turn out the way the person's work did. So I just want to say, I am so proud of you and your transformation and your journey and just the level of confidence and seeing your relationship with Carolyn and the other member, like to see all of you connect in person, like at the retreat. Angie came around and got everybody up to send a video to Donna, who couldn't be with us, saying we missed her so much. Like just the camaraderie and the relationships of the group. Again, I know I keep saying it, but that to me that is my reward. I thought about today, I said to my son, I got such a nice note from Angie and she referred someone to join the Insiders, which is the biggest compliment that any of you can give me. And I said to my son, a lot of people in the online space would show up on the ads or, in my Facebook group with like me in a Lamborghini convertible with a Louis Vuitton handbag dripping in diamonds saying, look at the lifestyle that you can have if you join my thing. And I said, for me, I am more proud of your note to me and the result that you got from being an insider than anything that I get from having you as an insider. So that just completely, you totally made my weekday, month, year with the feedback I share with you guys all the time. I am a solo person in this business. Bryn is my right arm. She is my chief operating officer, virtual assistant, and all things tech. And I couldn't do any of this without her, but that's it. It's myself and my daughter. That's it. So I think when people join, they think it's this big, giant company and they're not going to get any attention. I picked up the phone today and called someone that was having a hard time logging on. And she was like, this is really you? You're calling me right now? And I was like, well, yeah, I want you to be able to get into your library. And it's obviously you're having a trouble with it. And I don't want to keep typing out what I'm trying to say. It's easier sometimes to just jump on the phone. So that to me is my gift, is the relationship with all of you and the support of all of you, passing it along and sharing your experience with others and not keeping it to yourself. I mean, a lot of people would easily say like, I'm not sharing it. I don't want anybody else to know that, I'm doing this. I want to keep it all to myself, and none of you do that. And I'm so, so grateful for that. So thank you. Let me see if there's any. Donna said, I met Angie's daughter at a show where I was teaching the week. Oh, yeah. Donna was teaching. And your daughter's in beauty school, right? So you have the next generation.
Yeah, she
That's
passed the
awesome.
boards this spring, which she's doing now. She's not a fan of hair, but yeah, she works in the salon with us and she's learned a lot from that. But one thing I do want to say, my biggest takeaway is not only the knowledge I've gained in color, but just to have the self-confidence, because like truly I used to sit in the back room formulating color, and it was like literally prayer color. And I didn't, if somebody had asked me, oh, well, how many heads of hair have you screwed up, and I'd be like, I really haven't. But now I'm looking back and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I look at it and I'm like, wow, how far I've come, and how far I still have yet to go. And even just how you said, the relationships with so many other, stylists that I've built in retreat is just, yeah, it's just amazing to get to know everybody and spend that time and learn, and to go on. I'm going on to do some other classes this year that I'm excited about, but just to have those goals, and to have the confidence to travel by myself now, which I've done twice this year between retreat and then out to Philly. It's just really been life changing. And again, if anybody is considering like the monetary amount of it, which I was definitely nervous about, um, you will make it back tenfold, um, in even just having the confidence to raise your prices when prices need raised, um, and having the confidence like I deserve that now because I've been putting this into my education. I've been putting this into my off time and swatching everything out and understanding the whys and understanding everything that I thought I understood before but had no clue.
That's awesome. And I love that you mentioned the confidence to travel alone, because I don't often share that I'm also a life coach, especially when people are, coming to join a hair color group. I don't share that because it's part of it, but it's not part of it, if that makes sense. Like Angie would probably tell you that she got more from the life coaching side, not more or as much of the life coaching side as she did with color. And she just took a recent vacation. She's like, I came back out to Florida. I loved that hotel so much. I brought my family. Like, I love that, because we tend to go on autopilot and we just keep accepting what is because we don't know what's possible. So just having somebody kind of give you that little nudge and push and telling you that you deserve it and it's okay, and having people, not begrudge you doing that, but support you and cheer you on and then say, how was it? Let's show me your pictures. You know what I mean? It's just that safe place to land and just that sense of community that I love so much. So I'm so proud of you. And I thank you again for
Thank
being
you.
here
And thank you
tonight
for
and
everything.
being a member. I appreciate you so much. I just want to make sure there's no Cherie. Oh, this is who she recommended. So is it Sherry or Cherie?
Sherry.
Angie. Sherry. So
Sherry.
Sherry said
Sherry
Angie
is
is
one
a
of my
rock star in and out
coworkers.
of the salon. That's awesome. Very nice to
Sherry's the
hear.
best.
Awesome. Awesome. And Donna said it was awesome. Made me cry ugly tears out of joy when you sent that video. So that was nice.
Oh.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Bryn asked, what was the biggest thing that changed for you behind the chair as a result of being a member?
Confidence and just knowing exactly what I'm doing and why things are happening. Um, for instance, like one mistake, I couldn't figure out why, like when I first started using Shades EQ, and I'm doing a head of highlights and the silvery colors are in, and I'm like, oh, I'll just put some tea on there. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's this khaki, muddy green. Why? And then, now knowing and having the swatches, and I even just showed one of my other coworkers the other day because she loves to go to the tea, and she was saying, oh, it's this muddy. It's just not that bright. And I showed her how you have to get the yellow out of there before you put the blue in, or else you're going to make green, and you have to do it twice. um, and and she was like, oh wow, I never really thought about it that way. And I never thought about things that way either. It's just a whole new mindset of understanding the why, and to really be able to sit down and think, okay, this is what I want, this is what I have. every head's different. It's not just about putting the same formula on every head, because it's going to look different on every single head, based on what you have in that head, that what the underlying pigment and the formula that the head already has in it, that you don't take it, that I never took into consideration before learning your way of coloring.
Awesome. 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 Well, thank you very much. And I will see you
Thank
soon
you.
at our
Okay.
coaching
Happy
call.
Thanksgiving, everyone. Thanks.
You too. I got out of cooking this year. My daughter is cooking for us. So I'm very excited about that. That's the bonus of being married now. She's all grown up. So welcome, Felix. Felix, let me change that. Oh, that's too big. There we go. How are you, my friend?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I would love for you to share your story about how new you are to the industry and how brave you have been with some of the things that you've tried and succeeded with so early in your career, that you're teacher's pet all the
That
time.
was
I'm always praising you.
definitely remember the last time I was texting you and calling you. I was like, I think I screwed it up, but I did. But I fixed it next day. So it's one of the things that it takes you from this course is it gives you the confidence that I know how to fix it, but just to hear your voice and told you and say that's gonna be okay, and it gives you the boost that you need. I know I have few people that I follow, and honestly, you be the best. I
Oh,
can't thank you enough. I mean, you know what I went through, and it's hard. And I had the ability to go back to the course and watch what I haven't watched. And I love running in the morning, so I always play it on my phone, even just to listen to what you're saying and how to explain it. It sticks in your head. It's just dedication is the key. And we all have hard lives, we all have hard times, we all have no time for ourselves. And like I say, when I go running in the mornings, get in my phone and the app and just listen, not even watching. And later when you come back and watch the video, it's like, oh, I get it now. So it's a lot easier.
nice.
So yeah.
Does that count as me running? If I'm running in your ear, do I lose weight
Yes,
that
you
way?
are. You are
That would
exercising
be
with
that would
me
be nice.
24/7.
That would
But
be a nice
honestly,
perk
it's
if it
just,
counted.
when I first came out, I wasn't afraid. And that's one of the things that got me to where I'm at right now. I know a lot of people is afraid, but it is an investment. And it's one of the things that you had to look and say, what you're gonna get out of it. And honestly, the knowledge, it's just priceless, because between listen to the course, watching the videos, and all the free tools that you send out, it helps a lot. I'm still in the shop. I'm still in the salon because I haven't go home because I was busy. And it's Sunday, and Thanksgiving is coming, and you had to find a way how you make your money. And hey, I'm gonna take Thursday and Friday off, so might as well work Sunday nights and make
Now share
next.
share with people how far in from beauty school you are, how long you've been in the industry.
Well, will be my third year only. When I first met you, it was like a year and a half when I graduated, and I was totally lost. I mean, that was through the COVID. I lost my father. I graduated right before I went to his funeral 3 years ago, 4 years ago, almost, for COVID. Um, and that year I graduated, and was hard because you had to deal with family, and then you had to deal with the school, and your mind, it goes all over the place. But I know what I want, and when I know what I want, I just focus. And the investment that I did, it's already paid off. and I will resign again, but because it is so much in the library that I don't have the time. I'm getting very busy, and I love to do double process hairs, and I don't know, it's just I love the challenge. But that's one of the best thing ever happened to me, go back to the library, watch something that, because no matter how many times you watch it, there is when you rewatch it again, I'm like, oh, this what I miss. And then it's the beauty. It's the beauty to have you 24/7. You don't know, but we do have you.
I love that you pointed out that you were brave, because that is the best way I would describe you. Even though when you joined, you were only a little over a year out of beauty
Yeah.
school, which every single person watching right now can feel the feeling of being out of beauty school and attempting to do any color. Felix is doing super dark levels. Like, this level 4 is a picnic for him. He's usually
Yes.
level 2 and darker, and he is making them into blondes. He's doing vivids. He's doing such advanced color that makes me, every time he asks me a question, I'm like, oh crap, I don't want to do this. I'm nervous. Are you sure you want to do this? And he's like,
Yeah.
yep, I'm doing it. And I'm like, okay, I'll be here. I'll keep helping you out. But it's fear is so debilitating to most people. And I guarantee whoever's here watching that may have been in the most recent workshop with me and has not pulled the trigger, has not clicked the link, has not joined, we say it's the money. We all say it, right? Felix, you had no money. You were a year and a half out of beauty school, and
Yeah.
you were not a kid living at home with mom and dad. Like, I think every single person here tonight, none of them had money, like laying around in a trust fund. So it was a stretch for everyone. But no one ever said after doing it, I want my money back. This is awful. Take my money. They said, you guys reach out and go, am I expiring? When am I expiring? I don't want to miss anything. It's the total opposite. So that's where I feel that it's a great value, because like Angie said, you're going to, or no, I think Stacy said, you're going to get back your money 10 times over, because it's an investment, and education is the one thing you spend money on that will always pay you back. It's not
Yeah.
like going to the casino and putting money on, on red or black and taking a gamble. It's like, that you're going to know better, do better, be a different person. And the fact that you are so booked 3 years in that you have to go in on a Sunday because it's a holiday week is a tribute to you and how brave you are and how you're always open to learn something new. So I love that. I love everything about your whole story. And I can't wait for Louis, who just joined, to meet you, because he's in your exact situation where you were when you joined a few years ago. And I think Jack's here too. We're going to bring him on next. But I think it's nice to have other men in the group. It's sometimes you feel like you're the only guy in situations, but we have a lot of men in the group,
You know
which is
what?
very nice.
That's one of the things though that I work with two other girls, and for as much as I put the information in there, and I told them, you had to read. You literally had to read. I mean, I'm still in the salon. I'm gonna walk you around and show you where I have all the papers and every single thing that you had sent me. It helps me so much. And now, I mean, I'm doing hair with no bleach, like level 5 and 6 to couple levels, extra couple levels up. And it's like, I just saw one client today in the grocery store, and I did her hair 2 months ago. She's level 3, literally. And, I've been working with her for a while, and she's like about 7 or 8, but her hair today looks so good. I was like, holy shit, I did that. I was like,
That's awesome.
yay. And it makes you feel so good because you walking out and your work is right there. And I told her, and she's like, no, I've been sending you a lot of clients. That's your best advertise. I don't do Facebook. I don't do Instagram. I can't keep up. I literally can't keep up. So just for the people who refer you other people, it's just that's your money. And before I change this, I'm gonna show you something. So this is my salon. This is I'm start decorating for Christmas, by the way. I don't know, but here is the sheet that you sent. It's right here. Here's my Stacy
Awesome.
Q. They're right there, all the way. I'm not afraid. I don't mind to invest because I know I'm gonna get the money off of it. So here's one station right here. Here's my station. And guess what? More CQs in here that I just purchased. And we have your book, and down here we have your. It's everything is here. I'm. I mean, I can't thank you enough. I just. I don't know. It's just so excited to. I don't know how you came across my Facebook, but I am so thankful. I really am.
Oh, I'm
So
thankful for you as well. You have great
yeah,
energy. I can't wait to meet you in person sometime.
we probably to meet this time that you have the new retreat because now everything is settled. Now
Good.
uh, so everything is back to normal.
Good. I'm
Yeah,
glad to hear it. Well, thank you for joining us. Does anybody have a question
yeah.
for Felix? Someone said cute salon. Donna said, I love this, Felix. Bart said, love this. Kadia said, love this. Jack said, it's an investment. Investment in me, he said.
But
Okay. Bryn has
yes,
a little thing here. She said, when we were talking about expiring, we're talking about inner circle, not the course. The course you get for a lifetime. So the coaching with me and the hot seats and all that stuff is inner circle, not the course. Thanks, Bryn. We have another couple people that are members. Stacy, nope, the investment was so worth it. Bart, best investment I ever made in my career. And Donna said she knew she needed to learn because she had to teach it. And she knew so little after 45 years licensed and 15 teaching. Yes. And that's why I love that Donna is an instructor and she's always a student, because we know that some of the things that we learned in beauty school, those teachers should have retired a long time ago and they did not have the passion. They basically quit and never left the building, and that's unfortunate. But Donna is not that teacher, so we're
and
lucky to
that's
have her
that's
in
another,
the industry.
and there is another thing too, though. When I learned anything new from you or from the course, of course, uh, and then you told somebody else, that sticks more in your head than anything else because now you know the stuff, and it just makes you feel more comforted. And I mean, I can tell you already in the last 3 months I screwed out 2 hairs, which it's so easy not to correct it. It just, I mean, the client is like, oh my God, it's red in here. Why is so red? I was like, oh, let's fix it. Don't worry about it. Because you don't see the red when it's wet. So until you dry the hair. And Chasey Q is my key for everything now.
Exactly.
So
And that's
it's pretty
what the
cool.
difference between cutting and coloring is. When you cut that piece of hair, it's not coming back. Where in color, we're like, okay, we did an oops. We know how to fix it because we know the foundation and how it all works on the color wheel. So that's awesome. Well, thank you, Felix, so much for being here. And it's a
Thank
pleasure
you.
knowing you and having you in the group. And I appreciate you so much.
Thank you,
Have a
and
good Thanksgiving.
I hope happy Thanksgiving. And I hope everybody who is new in here do take the advantage because I know it's holidays right now and everything, but it's always a time. It's always a time for everything, and it just don't be afraid. Unfortunately, that's a lot of people in there. I have a girl that I just graduated a couple months ago, and she still hasn't start working because she's afraid. And no matter what or how, I guess we're older enough now because I used to have a business, and now you know how to talk to people. But a lot of people is afraid to talk and afraid to get out of the shelf. Just try to break the shelf, and let me tell you, it's gonna help you a lot. Yep.
That's all. Well, she's
Have a good
lucky to have
night.
you as a
Happy
mentor. So
Thanksgiving.
keep helping her push.
Oh, trust me,
Pay it
she,
forward.
yeah. So, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and happy holidays.
Thank you,
Merry
Phyllis.
Christmas.
Chris Mahana Kwanzaa. Jack, I see that you're here, but I don't see your face. Do you want to just talk on a blank screen? Unmute yourself. Oh, maybe he's not really here. I think Jack's having technical difficulties, so I'm going to speak for him. So Jack, I met when I taught at my very first beauty show in Premier Orlando. Premier has their show in June in Orlando, which is very unpleasant and humid and buggy and all the things. And I was so nervous teaching that first show. I went by myself. I had to set everything up by myself. I had to put the microphone on myself. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And Jack had such a friendly, approachable face. You always, when you're on stage, you always find a set of kind eyes and someone who has, you know, a really good resting face. My resting face makes people that teach feel horrible. And I don't mean anything by it, but I'm just like, I just have this like face that my friends call me the peach pit because my chin looks like it's the pit of a peach. It gets all shriveled. And it's my concentration face, but it comes off really bitchy and like uninterested. And I'm trying to work on it. Like I see myself when I'm interviewing somebody for the podcast, I can still see myself. So I'm just like trying to do a little smile while they're speaking and not my concentrating face. But Jack was a friendly face and he came up to me at the end of class and he bought my book and we met and he had a friend with him and I met him. And then every time I returned to that show, Jack was right there in the first few rows, always came to support me. He was one of the very first members of the Hair Color Secrets Insiders when I first started out. And I will always, always be grateful for him and for that, because when you're starting anything new, I had been a hairdresser behind the chair for, 30 years. I had been a salon owner for 32 years. And to start a whole brand new career as an educator, as you know, most people get their start with manufacturers. They work for Redken, they work for Matrix, they work for Schwarzkopf. Everyone that you know in the industry that you consider, famous, they all were supported by a big brand, and the big brand paid all their expenses to go to the shows. The big brand advertised them, built up their Instagram numbers and their Facebook numbers. I've been solo the entire time. And that is why it's special for me as the educator to have personal relationships with every one of these people. This isn't just Stacy J, some name on a screen. Stacy has come and had lunch with me here in Florida. We've met in person. We've gotten to know each other over these years, and it's a relationship. And it matters to me if Stacy doesn't finish and doesn't get a transformation. I don't want any of you watching to join and just put the money down and think that paying for something is going to change your life. Like Felix said, like Johnny said, like Stacy said, Angie said, they all said, when we're stuck, we go back to the library. When we're stuck, we know we have the answer in there. Sometimes we're like a deer in the headlights and we just forget. We're in a panic. We have a head in front of us. They're looking at us. My dispensary in my salon is open, so the client can watch us when we have that, oh crap, look on our faces. We can't hide it. So having a resource and, somewhere to go for help is priceless. It's something that was not there for me. And I know you've seen a gajillion people. You have Masters of Balayage. You have, who else? You have the Slice Squad, Nikki Wildflower. You have Britt Siva with Thriver Society. There's so much noise out there and there's so much information. But I've been in other people's groups. I know friends who've been in other people's groups and they've never talked to or met the person that runs the group. They don't have a relationship with the person. It's a person on Instagram and all of your information is on Instagram. I joined a membership with an Australian colorist. She never ever answers my questions. I've typed in at least 3 times in a DM, I have a question, and she completely ignores it. But every time she goes live, she's like, I love my subscribers. I'm here to answer all your questions. She doesn't answer all of the questions. Bryn, who's on here moderating, will tell you that if I'm on my way out to dinner and I have an inner circle member who's frantic in the salon who has an issue, I will not enter the restaurant and I will be outside talking them through a situation happily to get them out of a jam. That is what I do. That's why I love what I do. So I always encourage doing the library and the coaching, but at the very least, if you cannot do both, please just at least do the library, get started, get in there. And then when you have questions, know that you can upgrade to the inner circle and have the support of me taking you through the process. Bart, who is on here tonight, he is moderating the group for the course only people. So he's in there. He's been an insider, and he's another one like Stacy and Johnny who can answer for me when they see a question because they know that I'm going to answer a certain way. And he has been amazing at helping other people out when I'm not around and can't get in there. So it's awesome. Bryn, did you do that or did I do that? Or is that Jack again? Jack, can we hear you? I don't think we're going to have Jack. But I spoke for you, my friend. And Jack, if you would like to type into the comments anything that you wanted to say, hopefully your mom, like my mom, made you take typing class and you're a good typer. So Stacy said, oh, where'd that go? Being able to post questions in the group and look up videos in the library gives me an extra boost of confidence. Stacy is becoming a curly hair educator. So if you're struggling with curly hair, I highly recommend you reach out to her. She is going to be a rock star. She's just getting started with her library and all the things. Lisa, I could go on and on about you as well, my friend. She has made me so proud. She's saying here the best money on education she's ever spent. Lisa was such an overthinker. Still can go back to that every once in a while, but she always overthought everything. And now she as well is answering other people's questions, supporting people. She is our number one cheerleader in the group. At our second in-person member retreat, Lisa went around and Bart went around and got everyone to write me a love note. And when I tell you, words of affirmation are my love. Like that's how I feel loved is words of affirmation. I'm going to grab it. She had this awesome box. If I ever have a bad day, I go into this beautiful box. This is my logo from my book that you see behind me. And it's this beautiful shiny box. And there are notes from every single attendee at the event that are in this box. And I take these out and I read them, and it makes me remember why I do what I do and how can I do more of what I do and how can I get people a bigger transformation. My goal for every single one of you here is for every hairdresser to earn a 6-figure living. And when I say that, I don't want to sound like that Lamborghini Ferrari person that I talked about earlier. I mean that if you are intentional about your schedule and everything that you do behind the chair, it is fairly easy. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's very attainable to have a 6-figure income. I myself was earning 6 figures in 3 days. Now I worked my hiney off in 3 days because I don't have an assistant. So looking back, it would have made more sense for me to have an assistant, but I digress. That's then and this is now. So if you're working your butt off and you want to get to that 6-figure level, having an assistant is going to help you get there as well. But it's possible without one. And we have in the library a whole breakdown of how you do that. And it's basically 52 weeks, $100,000 if you're a sole proprietor. If you work at a salon, it's $200,000 because you're usually on 50% commission. And we break it down with, say $200,000 divided by 50 because I'm forcing you to have 2 weeks vacation, which most of you probably do not take 2 weeks vacation. So divide it by 50, and then that number divided by 12, and then that number divided by 4 for the weeks, then that number divided by however many days you work, and then that number divided by how many hours you work. And that is that simple. And it ends up being that you want to average about $100 an hour in the salon. For however you get that, you want that to be your, tipping point. And not giving free family hair, and not, not charging people, and not giving away glazes, and not charging, and not measuring your color and realizing you're using extra color. All of those things are in this library. So poor Jack can't get on, and he's so damn handsome. So we're all missing out on Jack. Elaine offers straightforward, no BS info, and is a gem because she only wants use in the membership. She only wants, I don't know what that means, but it's him typing, in the membership to only succeed and continue to grow in our business. I'm so glad to have walked into her Orlando class, and it has helped me become a better colorist. So thank you for that, Jack. And really seeing your friendly face in every one of those classes, because most of the Orlando shows I went by myself. The second time that I taught there, Bryn was coming and her flight got canceled and she couldn't come till the next day. And I had computer, PowerPoint, books, all kinds of stuff that I was schlepping. I had 2 big suitcases full of stuff. And when I tell you, everybody in the audience was so amazing. Like one woman came up and started selling the books for me. One was selling something out. Like everybody rallied around me because I was so defeated when I stood up on the stage. I was like, I don't know if you guys know this, but Premier Hair Show does not pay you to teach. Like every time I teach at that show, it's on my dime. I have to pay for my flight to get there. I have to pay for my hotel. I have to pay for my meals, and I don't get paid to teach. And I don't think anyone knows that. So even big, huge people in the industry that aren't with a manufacturer like the Wilsons or Vivian, you have to pay your own way. They don't pay. And it used to be back in the day when I thought it was glamorous to schlep around to the shows that you got paid like 25 grand to do one hour stage presentation. Not anymore. Not since the internet and everybody having their own education online. So I go because I love meeting people like Jack Mahoney and Felix and Bart and Donna and Johnny and Angie and Stacy. I love connecting with more hairstylists. So for me, a lot of times when I'm leaving, I'm like, well, that just cost me like $3,000 that I didn't have. But they end up joining maybe a year and a half later in the membership. I get to know them and I'm like, okay, that's where giving is, energy. We talked about in the workshop. Money is energy and it always comes back like a boomerang. So by me giving up my time and my money to fly there and to pay for all the things, people eventually become members. They get the transformation, which is my reward, seeing the transformation, and everybody wins. But it's, most people, especially now, because the economy is shit, the interest rates are through the roof. We go out to dinner. I mean, I used to be able to take a family of 4 out for Chinese for like $55 with a tip. We went out for Chinese the other night. It was $120. So like, trust me, I know that money's tight, but I also know that if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you don't learn something different than you already know right now, you're going to go in tomorrow and be the same exact hairdresser you were today, yesterday, and the year before. And to Angie's point, you don't even know how awesome your color can be because you only know what you've already given your clients. And lucky for all of you, even if you're not doing great color, lucky for all of you, clients don't know what great color is. To Felix's point, seeing clients in the grocery store, when you see some clients, you're like, oh my God, please don't tell anybody that I did that. When you're starting out, you can't even believe that you did that to people. I often joke and say, I have to apologize to everybody whose hair I ever did for their wedding back in the day because their hair was so bad. I was so bad at updos. It was ridiculous. So I wish I could go back. Well, no, I don't. I wouldn't want to do their updos, but I wish I could go back and do those people's color because I am a super confident colorist. I understand the chemistry behind color. I understand how it works. I can predict what's going to happen before I even choose a color. And that's what I want for you. And it's a basic 3rd grade math equation. We talked about math in the workshop, but only one math equation, how to figure out what you're currently doing and how it is turning out for you. This other math equation is how to predict and choose the right color to get the result that you actually want, among other things, among, trademark techniques that are only mine, that you're not going to see other places, like textural highlights, midlights, intentional dimension. We have the reverse braided balayage in there. We have freehand hair painting. We have foliage, cheesy lights, all the things. But the biggest core component is understanding why we're choosing what we're choosing. You can do techniques all day long. I've been to Redken events where they give you a mannequin and they're showing you all these crazy fancy, sectioning things. And I'm sectioning the hair and it's like, this is a star and this is a square and this is this. And I'm like, I'm so ADD and I'm so not that kind of learner. I actually left a Redken show and went to see Hugh, what's his name? The Wolverine guy. Why am I going blank for him? Whatever his name is. Hugh Jackman. I went to see him open in some play that he was just starting out in. I left the class. I had the doll head with me in the theater. I look like a crazy person, but I was like, I don't even want to finish that class because I'm not going to section that head into 15 sections that are shaped like a star just to show my client that I'm fancy. Like, to me, I don't think that really does anything different to the result of the hair. And I think if you don't have the formulation right, no matter how many stars you're carving into the section, the color's not going to be great because you don't have the formula right. And Angie brought up a great point. 50% of your formula is already in the hair. It's already, you have to picture it being mixed in your bowl, whatever is present in the hair. So most of us don't think like that. And we're having recipes. And if you're just joining, I showed, this is level 4 hair that was lightened using level 12 color. And you can see it's still very, very warm and very red. So if we do that math of 12 plus 4, we should be getting to an 8 here. This is not an 8, and it is far from cool. So this is what is continuing to happen, and this is what you're going to see tomorrow and the next day and the next day until you decide that you're worthy of an education that's going to work for you. Question about demi color. I have demi developer, but my color line is totally permanent. Can I make my permanent? Tracy, it depends on the line. You're saying, can I make my permanent into demi? Using permanent color and mixing it with demi developer? No, that will not change your permanent into demi. There are products like Kin has Total Control that will lower the pH and will make the permanent color behave more demi-like, but none of it makes a permanent actually into a demi-permanent. It can make it mimic and be close to it, but it will still have the ability to break the base a little bit. So I would like to know about filling the hair in general. I know you need to fill every 2 levels. What do you fill rack level with different formulas, each 2 levels? So if you look at a chart, you can look it up online. Just type in Redken fill chart and it'll come right up. Let me see if I can do that right now to show you. It comes right up. And it will show you exactly what is needed at every single level on your way back down. So let me see if I can show that. So that is the Redken fill chart. So it's saying, for instance, if a client is level 8 and she wants to be, say, a 5. So you're going to start with filling at the level 6. And you can see here that it's telling you you need orange to be put back in. So it's suggesting 6AA, which is confusing because in Redken, it's not ash, it's auburn. So 6AA, 9AA, that would be your filler. And then the next dip that you do with color would be your actual color. So you just want to check out one of those filler charts, easy peasy, and it even gives you formulas to use. I will say one of my favorite formulas is Redken 8WG is a banging fill. It's perfect. It's warm. It's yellow orange, so it fills in all that's missing, and that by itself is usually enough. Nancy, right now is when our family is growing. We have open enrollment right now until Bryn can answer that. I think it's a week from today or Friday. I think Friday maybe we close the cart. If you don't use Redken, that's okay. You just want to use a liquid demi color that is acidic. You don't want to use alkaline color. You want to use an acidic demi. So you can use Joico LumiShine, PM Shines. There's a bunch of different ones. So Bryn has just put the clickable link for joining the course. If you're interested, she just added that to the comments. So Jamie said, after 35 years behind the chair and I don't know what that means. I've learned more with your teaching in just 3 days. Thank you. So it sounds like Jamie was in the workshop and she's been in the industry 35 years and she learned a lot in the workshop. So thank you for that, Jamie, because it's really hard for me not to overgive and stress everyone out because I'm like a computer chip that has nothing in my head but hair color. My kids say, we worry about your memory, but I can rattle off any client that I haven't seen in 5 years. I know exactly what to use on their hair just by looking at them. I can look at the back of someone's head. True story. We were in California. I was with my kids and my husband. And this woman walked out of a store and I looked at the back of her head, and you know how you know your clients' heads, like if they have a swirly cowlick or whatever, makes them stand out. And I was like, that looks like my client. And my kids are like, Mom, we're in Newport Beach, California. Like, what are the odds? I'm like, I'm telling you, I really think that's her. So I literally jogged up behind her, tapped her on the shoulder, and damn if it wasn't her. And she's like, how the heck did you? I said, I know your head. I've been doing your hair for 10 years. I know every mole on their head. I know every scar. I know when they've had a facelift. We all know that. We can see the telltale signs behind the ears. So yeah, I totally picked her out of a crowd by the back of her head. So I have a story to share about fear and about money. So, well, not really fear. So we fly back and forth to Philadelphia a lot. My family, we're from Philadelphia. We now live in Florida. Bryn has a home in Florida. She has an apartment in Philadelphia. So she goes back and forth a lot. So we bought a all-you-can-fly ticket for Frontier because, again, with the economy, we're always trying to save money. Flying is expensive. They charge you for the bag. They charge you extra for the seat. We're snobs. We have to have an aisle seat, all that. So we fly Frontier. It's like a bare bones airline. They never apologize. That's who they are. That's their brand, right? So you have to decide who you want to be as a brand. Do you want to be the cheapest one on your block so that you're busy, but you're not making any money? Do you want to be the middle of the road guy who's like a little higher, but not quite the highest? Like, you need to determine who it is that you want to be, but then you have to own it. So we compromise for this airline because it's cheap. And almost every single flight, especially for Bryn, has been delayed by at least an hour and a half to 2 hours. Super inconvenient. Then you get on the plane and the seats are like sitting in a folding chair at a soccer game. There's no padding on your butt. The tray table, if you've never flown Frontier, the tray table looks like an ashtray in a car. It's like this little metal flip down, and kids keep flipping it down because it makes noise. It's loaded with babies screaming because it's affordable and you can take kids. So we traded off our comfort. We traded off having things on time. We traded off being able to get places on time. We have so many trade-offs by flying that airline to save money. You not joining this membership is like you flying Frontier. Yes, you're still going to get to be able to do clients behind the chair. You're still going to be able to figure stuff out eventually. But the amount of time that you're losing by not giving yourself that gift right here, right now. So I can't tell you how many people wrote to me and said, can I wait another month? Can I wait 2 months? And I'm like, what's going to be different? Like, did your aunt just die and she's leaving you $1 million? Like, 2 months from now, most of us are going to have less money than we do now because we're going to spend money on gifts for people that don't need the things just to show them that we love them. And it's all just so crazy. We all go broke every holiday for no reason. Family just want to spend time together, and that all needs to change too, but that's a whole different class. So by putting it off, thinking when I have the money, if you don't put it off, you will have the money. You heard Angie say, you make back your money. Stacy, you make back your money. Johnny, you make back your money. Every single person, not one person tonight on the panel said, oh, I just threw it on my credit card. I had a wad of money waiting to spend on my education. Hell no. Nobody felt that way. So it's up to you to make those changes to live a different life. If you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting the same result. And if you're okay with that, and you want to be that national average that kills me when I hear it on a pod, I just heard it again on a podcast. 38,000 is you're really kicking butt in a hair position. $38,000 a year. I hear kids my son's age, he's 25, kids his age are coming out of college earning $100,000. And there's a hairdresser that's been standing, not eating lunch, not drinking water, not going to the restroom, not going on vacation, not doing any of the things, giving their blood, sweat, and tears, and just standing on their feet, exhausted, using every muscle and bone in their body. And they're only getting 38,000. That needs to change. And these are the ways that you change it. So if not me, find someone that's going to get you to that next level. Do not accept what is. It's no longer okay. This is a whole new world of technology, and you have information at your fingertips. So to not take advantage of it is a disservice to you and to your clients and to the industry as a whole, because we're never going to change that ceiling on income if we just keep thinking that we have it all figured out. You saw people put into the comments that have been hairdressers for 35 years saying, I thought I knew everything after 35 years. Why wouldn't you think that you knew everything after 35 years? But what we missed was the beginning stage when beauty school, and I'm careful how I say this because I know Donna has shared with me that Donna teaches at a beauty school. It's not the teacher's fault. It's the system. The system is broken, and the cosmetology state board mandates that they spend all of their time that you're spending $25,000 to learn about hair. They have to spend all their time on safety and sanitation and making sure you don't hurt anyone or make anybody sick. They don't have the time to get all of the things in. And for me, it was color that got sacrificed. We didn't even open the chapter on color until 2 days before I finished my hours. 2 days before I finished. So I had to figure it out. And it took me 17 years to learn what Felix just learned in a year and a half. That is enough of a testimonial that if you don't want to join after hearing that, then you're never going to want to join anything. Because being a year and a half out of beauty school and being so booked, he has to go in on a Sunday, that says it all. And I didn't know he was going to be joining us from his salon. I was just as shocked that he's working on a Sunday. So Isaac Asimov, I'm probably slaughtering that name, said education is not something you can finish. I love that. I saw that on your post the other day, and it's so true. When you decide that you're done learning is when you might as well just hang it up, because when you stop learning, you're just going to be stagnant. You're not going to keep up. Things change. For me, the root shadows and the lived in look was the best trend to ever come along in my 36 plus years of being in the industry. I love the look of a blended, melted, gorgeous highlight, not like, yarn coming out of the skull where it looks like noodles. Everything has up leveled, but how many people are left behind trying to piece it all together and not realizing that, to formulate a root shadow, you don't want to be so pale that you're matching the color of the hair that it's lightened to. You're actually trying to match the regrowth color, and not to be afraid, because I tell you why in the course, why you have to go deeper for a root shadow, why to use porosity spray, how to find porosity spray, how to use a pH balancer at the end of your color. So many steps that, it would take you 5 years to get through everything. So it's a very meaty library. And that's why we changed it to lifetime access. We want you to have it forever. So you can go back to any module or video over and over and over again whenever you need it. So here's a question. What kind of lightener works best to bring a level 3 to as blonde as possible? So you're not going to like my answer because lightener is lightener. Is there a difference in some lighteners as far as how quickly it will lighten? Yes. However, quicker is not always better. Low and slow is going to protect the integrity of the hair. So, for instance, Schwarzkopf Blonde Me scares the living crap out of me. I tried it after I went to a Kim Vo event. OMG, I've never seen anything like it. And makes me super uncomfortable, way too fast, way too strong. So if you're looking for strong and you're really quick, I would say that could do it. But every single lightener is going to lighten hair. It's just a matter of your application, saturation, and timing. Most of us think that bleach stops working after 50 minutes. That's not true. It will continue as long as it's moist up to 2 hours. So a lot of us panic and wash it off too soon. And then we end up with brass, and then we try to cover the brass, and it becomes a whole thing. So yeah, any lightener will lighten hair as much as possible, but it's really not a good idea to attempt to go from, again, this is a 4. So 3 is even deeper than this. So to try to go from this to this in one setting is really not advisable, in my opinion. And it's not about the product, it's about hair and how much it can handle, basically. Lisa, I'm so glad I found this live. I'm a member of 3 years, and this is so exciting. I can't wait to see more. Lisa's our cheerleader. Thank you, Lisa. Love that. And this is a brand new member. I'm sorry you say Trebs here, so I can't say your name, but you're beautiful. I'm truly enjoying the library. So she's only been a member since Thursday night. We stayed on the Q and A on Thursday night until 11 o'clock at night, making sure that everybody got their questions answered. And now the people that joined are enjoying their library already. So you get instant access, which is awesome. You don't have to wait. Stacy said, high performers value their time over their money, invest the money and gain more time. The exponential increase in your growth will bring your money back with friends in town. Yes, I agree. We all use excuses of, I don't have the money, but then you spend more time trying to figure it out. So what is the resource? Time is not a renewable resource, right? We have only so much time in our day, in our month, in our week, in our year, and in our life. So always putting something off and saying, I'll get to it, I'll get to it, I'll get to it, usually doesn't happen. So you're either giving up your time or you're giving up your money. And in this instance, giving up your money is giving you back your time. So it just depends on your personality. If you want to go down the rabbit hole, like right now I'm live on YouTube. So there's going to be people watching on YouTube. They're like, oh, this is a great free class. I'm just going to keep coming back here. And that's fine. And they'll piece together this, this, and this, but they won't have the whole picture. So it's kind of like when you do a recipe and you try to skip one of the ingredients, you're like, oh, it'll be fine. You know, I remember making cookies and I ran out of flour and I went to get more flour and I got a different brand, thinking flour's flour, right? I got like the store Bobo brand and I had Pillsbury starting out. None of the second batch of cookies were the same. They were completely flat. They were more hard. They weren't as chewy. Totally different cookie with one different ingredient. So not knowing the full picture and not be, oh, this is awesome. I'm so ADD. I'm talking and looking at the comments. And now I'm going to go off topic, but I have to share this. Now, this is Donna, who I said is very into the chemistry of the condition of the hair. She said, Blonde Me eats hair for breakfast. It creates lots of issues with minerals reacting and melting hair. I agree 100%. My niece, Kim Vo, at that event, it was a behind the chair event. He did a base break with Schwarzkopf Blonde Me. Talk about panic. Like I literally was watching it in the audience. I'm like, I have to go find that model at the pool because they never showed the after. And I knew why they didn't show the after because it was a freaking disaster. So I saw her at the pool and she looked like a tiger. She had black spots. She had stripes. And she said, yeah, they wouldn't bring me back out on stage because it was so bad. They just made up some excuse to not bring me back up. And I was like, this is the behind the scenes stuff that you're not seeing at hair shows. I, as an educator and as a lifelong student, I'm like, I want to know what the after looks like. I need to know what that base break with bleach looks like. It was awful. So I ended up trying it in a different way, a much milder way with my niece. And man, did it lighten with that short scuff, but it was, her hair was like awful. So I trashed the rest of the can. I didn't even use the rest of it. But then there's people who swear by Blonde Me all the time. Nancy said, I've needed this for a long time. I've been doing hair for 15 years, never felt confident with color. I'm going to sign up. Welcome, Nancy. You have a great crew of people that are going to welcome you with open arms, as well as me. I'm happy to have you here. Yeah, Gabby said she uses Blonde Me on her dark hair clients and loves it, but definitely do low and slow. Yeah, don't be going in there with 40 volume with that stuff. It's like a bomb. Totally going to blow up that hair. Tula is a brand new member. I'm doing this for the inspiration and to be ignited to do more color and get excited about doing clients' hair again. I've been doing hair for 40 years. So we're excited to have Tula. And when I'm doing the workshop, I know exactly who's going to sign up and who isn't. And Tula was someone that I knew 100% was going to join. She was interactive. She asked lots of good questions. She showed up every night to the lives. Like, she went all in. And they're the people that end up taking the leap of faith, joining the library, even if it's just the library and not the coaching. And then they end up coming to the coaching, and then they end up coming to the in-person retreats. And then they end up at some point wanting to be an instructor at the retreat, like Stacy and Johnny. Johnny helps out with all the retreats. So this is a catalyst for so much growth for you and opportunities that you never even knew would be possible in an education platform. Because as someone who educates, I also love to share other educators with you. I share life coaches at our meetings for the inner circle, human design people, life coaches, all different people and different energy modalities, because we need our whole self to be in good shape to be able to be there for our clients and keep ourselves, sane in our brains, and keep our bodies, with stretching and all the things, to be able to do hair like that behind the chair. Shauna said, do you hold in-person classes? So the in-person is when you are a member. We have members only retreat. So it's a members only event. The last 3 have been here in Florida where I live. We may be ramping up and taking them on the road eventually, but right now they're usually in Florida. And I do offer one-on-one in-person classes. I do them with Johnny at his salon, so that's also an option, but there are things that you need to be a member for as well. And that's extra, it's not included. K18 I like a lot. I do like K18. I like the ease of use. I don't use it on everyone. I'm not a huge pack in all the conditioners and bond builders. I don't push hair further than I believe it needs to be pushed. So I believe more in prevention than trying to fix what's already broken. Using your formulation, how do you go from light to dark? Well, you don't, because formulation is for lifting. The universal law of color, the math equation, is for that, and that is for lightening hair. So if you're going from light to dark, that is what we talked about earlier with the fill chart. You want to fill for every 2 levels, you're going deeper. So it's completely opposite. You don't need any math for that. It's just, if they're an 8 and they're going to a 5, you want to fill at a 6. And you want to put in what has been taken out. A lot of people ask that question. It's a great question because they think the math works either way. But when you're adding color into somebody's hair, what you see is what you get. When you're lightening, it's what is in the hair plus what you're putting on the hair, and it's the combination together. Any other questions? I want to make sure, especially the people that did the workshop, that everyone gets your questions answered. If there's anything holding you back from taking the leap, or any other questions that just didn't make sense. Look at Bryn getting fancy doing banners now. You have lifetime access to the course. Sherry saying, I'm so excited to be part of this now. Seeing Angie's growth and her knowledge that she's sharing made me realize I had to jump in. So Sherry was referred by Angie, and she saw all the changes that Angie made, and she signed up. She didn't even come to the workshop. She signed up just by Angie telling her about her experience. And that, again, like I said, when you ask your clients for a referral, I always say to our clients, the biggest compliment you can give us is to share us with your friends and family. And then they end up sending us clients. That's how I feel about my insiders when they share with a friend, or they ask, can my friend come to the retreat? I really want her to come. I want her to meet everyone. That's a compliment to me that they want to share us with their friends that are also in the industry. So that's awesome. Can't wait to meet you, Sherry. Tammy has also been several years in the inner circle. She was at the retreat. She helped us. Oh my God, what a lifesaver. So we're at a hotel. And again, I talked about the behind the scenes that you don't see at hair shows. We are at a hotel and we're trying to shampoo the models in a bathtub and a handicap bathroom. So we had them laying on a stool and one person's holding their neck up. Poor Johnny is like pouring, pitchers of water over the model. It's a hot mess. And Tammy's like, I brought you a sink. I brought you a portable sink. I'm like, oh my God, you are such a lifesaver. So that was amazing. She drove to the retreat and she schlepped her portable sink. So I will always be grateful, Tammy, for you saving our butt with that. It was much more comfortable for the models. And I was a model too. So I was very, very appreciative that I didn't have a broken neck when I was done. When would it be appropriate to use permanent? So you'll learn in the insiders the math equation that tells you where you're going, where you're coming from, and it'll tell you what level to use. So if the number ends up being 11, 12, 13, if it's above, I would say a 9, it's basically telling you that it's not possible to get to where you want to go using permanent color, and you have to use bleach. And a lot of people don't believe that the math's working when they get those crazy numbers. They're like, oh, it said 16. I'm like, no, yeah, that's telling you it's not possible. And you can try all you want. I shared earlier, this was level 12 used on a 4. And this was as light as it got. It's not turning it this color. So if a 12 was going to be a 12 on anything you put it on, then this would be blonde, but it's not. This is a 6.5 at best. So yeah, it's what you think you're getting with color is not at all what you are getting. And you can keep doing it and not understand the why behind it, or you can learn once and for all how a simple 3rd grade math equation can change your life, among other things. That is when it's all going to change for you, but you have to take that leap. Oh yeah. Lisa was back there too. She said there was a gecko stuck in the tube, a little baby lizard. I said, it's so funny. Like a lizard, we're like, oh, he's so cute. Where if it was a roach, we'd be like up on the chairs, or a mouse. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Gabby, off topic, but I can tell you love the color teal. It's my favorite color as well. Yeah, you notice all of my colors are all gem colors, bright colors. I do the color. That's another thing. We talk about what color complements your client's skin tone. I've never been to a single color class that any educator has addressed skin tone or eye color or skin color. Never. So that's all in there. How to guide your client into, should she be a copper brown? Should she be a violet or a copper red? Should she be a violet red? Should she be a red, orange red? These all matter with their skin tone and their eye color, but we're so busy running to the back and mixing up and trying to get started that we don't even look at their face or their skin or their eye or anything else. We just want to get started. And then the client has to change all of their makeup and everything about their wardrobe because it didn't match. And that's on us. We are the expert. So it's our job to talk to our clients about what flatters their skin tone. How many times have you seen a client with pale skin and pink in their cheeks, and they have that weird color blonde that's like trying to be blonde, but it's like very yellow, orange, brassy, and it's just fighting with their complexion? and you change that color and you make it, this is a bad example, but this is sitting here. You make it more ashy, you ash it out, and all of a sudden their pink lipstick matches their pink skin because their color is now cool. But they don't know that, nor should they know that. It's not their job to figure that out. If it's like you going to a dermatologist and saying, is this something that is this a skin tag or a mole? Like, I don't know. That's why I'm going to the dermatologist. So you have to trust that there's people that are further ahead than you and have learned the lessons and not have to go through the mistakes that I've made. Like, my goal for you is to not get the skin knees and the scrapes and bruises, to actually, Beth, it's in the library. It's in the Insider Library. Have you joined? Are you in there yet, Beth? It's all in there. We talk about branding, how to dress in the salon for success. We talk about how the color of a client's eye can actually determine whether they're going to be warm when you lift them or not and prevent a brassy result. There's tons of information in there. It's not just Formulation 101. There's, if you were in the workshop, you saw all the bonuses that are included. You have Fearless Formulation, Fast and Fearless Foiling. Both of those courses stand alone and are sold separately. So you're getting all of that in your library. And I always recommend that you start with the opening welcome video and go in order. Do not jump around. Don't go from textural highlights to this, to toning a blonde and changing a double process over to a multi-dimensional, corrective color. Like, don't bounce around like Tigger, because you're really going to be overwhelmed. The library was designed to take you on a journey, a colorful journey. That's my brand. So it's designed that way. I took a year and a half to create this library of what do I want to know that I didn't have when I was getting started and not confident. How can I go in steps to make sure everybody is not overwhelmed? Bryn just put up, it's in module 6. Analyzing skin tone, eye color, and warm or cool family. So there is a search button in there as well. So sign up for the course library and get over $1,200 in bonuses until Friday at midnight. So once we close the doors, all of the bonuses go away. I can't tell you how many people sign up after the bonuses go away, and then they'll be in the group and someone will refer to something in Let's Go Lazy Crazy. And they'll be like, oh my gosh, that was life-changing. Felix talked about Let's Go Lazy Crazy and the chart that I gave him. So someone will talk about it and then the person will go, I didn't get that. And I'm like, well, you didn't buy it before midnight when we told you to buy it. So hesitation is going to cost you all those bonuses. So it's a lot of information. And if we broke every single thing down, this would have to cost over $3,000. And it doesn't, because I don't want money to be the reason that you don't get the education that you need. If you aren't able to go all in and pay in full, still keep opening your emails. If we see enough people need a payment plan, we'll create a payment plan. We want you to find a way to get this education that you need, because we don't want you to keep spending your time and waiting another 5 years to get the information that if you start today, you can be talking on the panel this time 5 years from now, talking to the old you, welcoming them into the group and telling them, oh my gosh, what was I so afraid of? This has been a great decision. So I want that for you. And I hope that that is what happens. So we're an hour and 38 minutes in. I've been talking like crazy. All my YouTube people are going to yell at me because they hate when I go long. Oh, here we go. Here's a good testimonial. So Lisa said she missed out on them. So she did have to purchase some of them. So she suggests hitting that button. You won't regret it. So she must have joined in between launches and she missed out on the bonuses. So that's good to know. Thank you for that, Lisa. Yeah, you never want to hesitate when somebody's giving you a gift, for sure. It's always a gift to have education. Gabby said, I've always been so nervous when the client asks me what color will suit their skin tone. I can't wait to learn this. This is life-changing. This is like becoming a true color expert, taking the whole entire client into consideration, not just You know, most of us work on our clients as if we can pick up their hair and put it on a stand next to us and just work on the actual hair. We're so busy with our head down looking at the client's hair that we don't see that they have beautiful blue eyes. Or like for me, I hate my chin. So I always say to Johnny, make sure my money piece draws attention up here. I like my eyes more than I like my chin. So that's strategic. You want to do your placement to bring out the best in your clients, and you want to tell them what you're doing. You want to share with them, I'll lay them back at the bowl and I'll say, I'm giving you some basin balayage and some sparkles around your face because your eyes are stunning. And I want everyone that looks at you to look right at your eyes. And they're like, oh my gosh, no one's ever said that to me before. And if a brand new client comes in and I'm doing the consultation, I'll grab their arm and I'll hold it out and I'll put it next to mine and I'll tell them whether they should be cool or warm based on their skin tone. And they're like, I have gone to colorists my entire life, 30 years, and I've never had anyone look at my skin tone. I've never had anybody tell me that I should be that shade. So it's easy to get a loyal, raving fan clientele when you go the extra mile and you actually do things differently than anyone else is doing. This will set you apart from your competition in so many ways. Kim Brackett is a longtime member. I see her in Facebook groups sharing with other people a marketing technique that I gave her that we created at Luxe Color Lounge. I share all of my marketing tips on why we have an ongoing wait list. We have a division of our company that is going to change the industry and make all of marketing completely automated for you. I don't know about you, but when I became a hairstylist, I didn't know that I was going to have to be a photographer, a video editor, an Instagram influencer, all of these things, a marketer. I didn't sign up for that. I just wanted to do good hair. But if we don't do Instagram and we don't do Facebook, we feel like we're getting left behind because our clients are seeing other people advertise on there and they have FOMO from their friends. So they want to go to the hairdresser that's doing all the things on social media. We don't want you to have to worry about that. You heard Felix say he's so busy he had to go in on a Sunday. We teach free and almost free techniques in the course on how to get more clients easily. You're not running around putting, I had to put flyers under people's windshield wipers back in the day. So we utilize technology to put all of that on autopilot to get you clients while you sleep. Our salon, Luxe Color Lounge, is our beta test for this new product that's part of the Hair Color Secrets Insider world. And we had to turn it off because she has so many brand new clients that she has a wait list of 41 people trying to get in with her. And she's only 2 years behind the chair. But we turned this on and we were like, we want to see how fast we can get this girl booked. And all of the clients are returning because we have systems in place to make sure that they don't feel like they were, just another client. We take good notes in an iPad about their personal history and their kids' names and all those things. That's all part of this. It's not just here's a math equation, figure it out. It's a whole entire system. And there's so much in here to guarantee your success. If you do the work, and people will tell you, the first year I joined, I barely opened the library. I wasn't doing anything. I was going back to my old ways. And then I wasn't getting anywhere. So I started back in the beginning and OMG, I wish I would have done it sooner. Everything changed. They're busy. You heard Stacy say she was doing massages and nails because she didn't feel as confident in hair. Now she has people lining up to get color from her and she loves it. Angie, I am too, but there's so many techniques that save time by placement there in the course. That's been a huge help for me. Yeah, it's all about time and it's not about shortcuts. It's about really being intentional with where you're placing the color in the hair and understanding how hair falls. It's actually pretty interesting to look at. So I am going to go because I see people commenting, but I don't see any questions. So like I said in the boot camp, if there's a lingering question that has something to do with what we talked about in the boot camp, feel free to put it in the boot camp Facebook group. I'm going to jump in there. I jumped in a couple times today. I didn't see any questions. So I would love to answer anything that's lingering, but I would love even more if you would take the leap, join us in Hair Color Secrets Insiders. And don't wait until we do this again. We only do this every 6 months because it's exhausting. It's a big project to do all of this, but I love every minute of it. And I like to spend the next 6 months nurturing the people that took the leap and joined. I don't want to have to keep inviting other people in. I want to pay attention to the people that are right in front of me, to my family. So thank you again, Stacy, Johnny, Angie, Jack, even though we didn't get to see your handsome face, Felix, and all of the insiders, Lisa, Donna, all of you that are always so supportive when you see us welcoming new members, Tammy, Kathy, all of you are so important to me. And you're the reason I wake up every morning and get to live my purpose and passion. So thank you to all of you. And I will see you all on Wednesday for coffee and colorful conversation. Everyone have a wonderful Thanksgiving if I don't see you on coffee and colorful conversation. Thanks for being here tonight. Have a great night.